several reasons. First of all, we have two very distinguished and very well-informed scholars from Taiwan discussing what has been, I think, a very neglected regional issue that is, as most of you are keenly aware, rising in importance and potential impact on peace and stability in East Asia. And secondly, I got a wonderful fortune here. It says it says the star of riches is shining on you this month. So it's very auspicious time for our two speakers to be addressing our Center on Democracy, Development, and the Rule of Law, and our project on Taiwan democracy. Once again, I do want to thank the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office for their support of our program and for coming down to be with us and for recruiting these two wonderful speakers to speak with us today. Our second speaker I will introduce first, to go by seniority. Professor Edward I-Hsin Chen is a professor of political science at the Graduate Institute of the Americas at Tom Kong University in Taiwan. He has a PhD in political science from Columbia University, and he not only has a distinguished record as an academic, he's written about the U.S. role extensively in Taiwan's international relations and also Taipei's relations with mainland China. So he is one of the leading thinkers about this triangular relationship of U.S. PRC, ROC relations and U.S. cross-strait policy over many years and the security dilemmas therein. But he's also been involved in policy making. He was a member of the Legislative Yuan from 1996 to 1999, a member of the National Assembly after that, and director of the Graduate Institute of the Americas for a number of years at Tom Kong University. Specializes, as you might imagine, in international relations theories, international political economy, and decision-making theories with regard to foreign policy. And then he will be preceded in terms of the order of presentation by Dr. Yann-huei Sung. Dr. Sung is a research fellow at the Institute of European and American Studies at Academia Sinica in Taipei, Taiwan, where I was very privileged to spend a year myself. And he's also jointly at their Center for Asia-Pacific Area Studies. Professor Sung, looks like I better make this a longer introduction. Professor Sung received his PhD in international relations from Kent State University in Ohio, and he also has a law degree from a pretty good institution across the bay, UC Berkeley, the Bolt Hall. He has very broad and relevant interests to ponder the issues that they're both going to discuss today. His academic work has covered ocean law and policy studies, international fisheries law, international environmental law, maritime security, and South China Sea issues. And he convenes Academia Sinica's South China Sea Interdisciplinary Study Group. And I'm also pleased to say he's well known to us here in this building since he spent 6 months in 2006 as a Fulbright Scholar at the Asia Pacific Research Center. So welcome back to Stanford University, and Professor Chen, welcome again to you as well. They are going to discuss what is rising on the agenda as one of the most important issues confronting peace and stability in East Asia, the issue over the Diaoyu Islands that have the potential to generate a very, very serious conflict involving mainland China and Japan. And Taiwan has launched an initiative to try and find a peaceful solution to this conflict. We look forward to hearing about it.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Larry Diamond. It's nice to be back to Stanford University. and in particular to this center. And upstairs is my Asia Pacific Research Center. I spent 6 months doing research and so on. But today the topic is the maritime issues in Asia, finding peaceful solutions. It doesn't work, but would you please? I'm trying to make a presentation about those existing sovereignty and maritime disputes in the Asia Pacific region. We know that in this region we have disputes between Japan and Russia Federation over Diaoyu Islands. In Japan, they say northern territories. We also have disputes between Korea and Japan over Dokdo or Takeshima. We have the disputes between Japan or among Japan, Taiwan, mainland China over Diaoyu Dao or Senkaku Islands. I prefer to use the abbreviation DIG, Diaoyu Islands Group. So countries in the region are concerned about the development of maritime activities and in different seas in the Asia Pacific. Sea of Japan, East China Sea, South China Sea, Yellow Sea, or Sea of Okhotsk. So they are included in the Indian Ocean. So we see a number of flashpoints in the region. As I mentioned earlier, the disputes between Russian Federation and Japan, between Korea and Japan, and also in Spratly Island, we see the disputes between among a number of countries. Right here, Spratly Island in this region, Scarborough Shoal, and then Paracel Island right here. And today, my focus will be right here, Diaoyu Islands Group, that's abbreviation DIG. So this is the potential flashpoints which are going to affect peace and stability in the United States. It has the potential to drag the United States into armed conflicts. If something happened, for example, between Japan and China over Diaoyu, DIG in the East China Sea, under Article 5 of the treaty between the United States and Japan, the U.S. government has to defend Japan when Japan is under attack, when that dispute happens. But a number of countries, parties in the region took actions to claim or reinforce sovereignty claim. We see that in July this year, the Russian Prime Minister visited the disputed islands between Japan and Russian Federation. And this one in August, South Korean government Lee visited Dokdo or Takeshima. But now we have the new leadership change in mainland China, Xi Jinping, and we have the Prime Minister Li Keqiang in mainland China. Is the new leader going to follow the steps of President Li, of the Russian Prime Minister, to visit Shisa, the wooded islands, the largest island in the Paracel Islands? Is he going to visit that? And recently, I believe most of you, if not all, have read about the most recent development about the issue of new version of e-passport. In that passport, you see this 9 dash line. On the right-hand side, that was submitted to the United Nations Secretary General in May 2009, indicating the South China Sea belongs to China. In what sense? Maritime zones or ownership of islands. But the new passport, we see that this is the South China Sea right here, U-shaped line or 9-dash line, and we also have something about the two popular scenic sites in Taiwan, Chinshui Cliff in Taiwan and Sanmu Lake in Taiwan, in the passport. So when you go to the Chinese citizen go overseas, and you have to put stamp on that passport, a visa, whatever. So that kind of sovereignty implications. So the Philippine government say that we are not going to stamp on the passport. We are going to issue separate slip, something like that. It's going to do it. Is that follow the new leadership change in China? And so this is the new thing that. What about U.S. position? U.S. reaction to that new passport? And this is a new report yesterday. The U.S. government said that we are going to accept, we are not going to reject that new passport because it's acceptable according to international requirements. It's legal. So what does that mean? But in any way, there are other action taken by China. Recently issued the map. Have you heard about, maybe I think you have heard about the Sansa City. Sansa, which referred to the Paracel Island, Sisa, Spratly Island, Nansa, and McCleskville Bank, Zongsa, the three group of islands in the South China Sea. China established administrative authority, including military garrison in that city. So we have the new map. Stop and let me try to continue according to my memory. But anyway, so there are a lot of things going on. What about President Ma Ying-jeou in Taiwan? Should he visit the IG, or should he visit Taipingdao, Ituaba, the largest in the Spratly Islands? So if that's the case, what's the implications for Taiwan to defend its sovereignty? It's unlikely for President Ma to land Diaoyu Tai, Senkaku Island, because at this moment no leaders have ever landing or visiting that disputed islands in the East China Sea. In the future, we don't know. But in any case, the disputes in... Thank you, sorry. It is going to work? Or
yes, it will. I'm probably going to switch computers with you in a second. But
okay, but it looks... I keep pushing the problem. Okay.
Does it work with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay.
That's the one I mentioned, that President Ma, he visited the Penja Islet in the East China Sea in September, and then he pointed at the Diaoyu Tai Islands, DIG, that he planned to safeguard, take more actions to claim sovereignty over the DIG. But then in the future, I believe, during his second term, he will pay a visit to Taipingdao in the Spratly Islands. So now maybe move to East China Sea. This is China Sea. All of you know that the disputes right here is the Diaoyu Tai Island Group, DIG right here, Taiwan, Japan, mainland China, and then there are 8 islands. How big is the island? The size area for the largest one in Japan, they call it Yidiaodao, Shuizuri, Jima, and Chinese name will be Diaoyu Dao. In Taiwan, Diaoyu Tai Lieyi. So the size is very small, 4.32 square kilometers. So there are 8 islands in that group. That's why I'm suggesting to use the